So the game starts with these sort of accessibility options. This is what we call easy mode, where the enemies are less aggressive. That means that they use their abilities less, and like it's a lot easier for us to be able to dish out a good chunk of damage with little to no repercussions. That doesn't mean that there are no repercussions. We will deal with those later in the run, but for now, I think we should start. We wake up with an urge to run. We're going to be introduced here to our protagonist, Glenn. And Glenn is part of this Sky Pirate troop. We're here because we've been tasked with the treacherous task of trying to steal a weapon of mass destruction. Take no notice of the giant Gundams that we're piloting, as they'll disappear in a second. We will come back to these. There is Sky Armor fights. There is like aerial combat and big Gundam fights. But for now, we don't need to worry too much about that. So we're sort of storming this castle. You can see our forces against theirs in the bottom left there. We're sort of getting introduced to just sort of the basic combat system here. It's turn-based. There's like regular attacking, and then there's also the abilities that we have access to that use our TP, which is our, mana, essentially. In the background, you can see that our lovely airship has been trashed. That's okay. See, we're already on the ground. That's the trick. Any kind of crits here are very helpful, but alas, not to be. We'll be introduced to a new battle mechanic soon in this first boss battle. That's called the overdrive bar, and that's one of the settings that we turned down right at the start. Was to give us a longer, oh, crit. This is really good. There you go. So in the top left, the overdrive bar, the green is significantly bigger. Green means that we do all of our skills that require TP require half TP, which is really good. If it goes into the red, we take extra damage. Oh my gosh. We take extra damage, and everything costs more. I believe it's twice as much. So here we're being introduced to a regular fight with a regular Sky Armor. And in the back there, that glowing orb is the Opus Stone that we've been charged with stealing. So with that, a giant disastrous explosion happens, sort of taking out all of the surrounding area. And then it cuts to this lovely town. We're introduced here to Lena and Rob. What you saw there was a quick menu to upgrade some skills, so that we can also get the inherent stat buffs that come with those. Every 5 skills that we learn, or 5 Grimoire shards, that's our leveling up points that we use, you get a +1 to every stat. You get Grimoire shards from meeting certain requirements, such as beating bosses and completing things in the reward board, which we will explain probably in the next half an hour. You'll see them. At least the reward board. We've already started to take out some bosses. Now, dodging encounters in this game, all the encounters are static. They're already set. Very Chrono Trigger-esque. You might have noticed some similarities already. This game is very much an homage to the old school SNES RPGs. And it does such an incredible job of that. Wait. Sometimes the like auto-targeting system will not will assume that you want to use a stronger move on an opponent who has more health. That is not entirely the case here, as we save a bit of time by killing that person first. So we're going into this cave here to find out like why these bandits are doing what they're doing. So here we're being introduced to the ultra move mechanic. Ultra moves are special attacks that we can use to deal significant effects, right? So some people have, as you would have seen, Lena's there is a giant AoE damage. That is magic damage. Rob's is sort of a removal status ailments jazz. You'll see some very useful ones coming up, mostly to do debuffs or significant AoE damage or single target damage. Or to provide buffs and jazz. In the top left-hand corner, you will see these 3 arrows as well. That's our battle speed. We want to keep that at 3 at all times. However, when you go into cutscenes, the battle speed has a tendency to... oh, crit. Nice, good fight. Has a tendency to set back to its initial speed. So, as you can see in this, there's also a sort of skipping cutscene thinger. And you'll see that there's only sometimes that we can skip cutscenes. As a rule in the community, we have ourselves a sort of ruling when it comes to skipping cutscenes, and that's mostly just for the benefit of the speedrun. Where if you hold down the skip button through certain loading triggers, it won't classify as you skipping the cutscene. We have a lovely phrase for that, and it's called "respect the platypus," and that really, you know, means a lot to my Australian heritage. There are some times where you'll be able to see in a second that we'll do what's called a super skip, where you can hold it down, and you'll skip the cutscene on the first like available chance without needing to do the load. We've only sort of found some very minor ones. So here's the first one. There you go. What that'll do is that'll let us get to this raft real quick. Get the first possible raft, which is really nice. So we're being introduced here to Sienna. You would have seen Victor earlier, but we'll explain them a little bit later. Sienna is the greatest thief in the multiverse. Oh, Thin Height, that's really good. And she's gone around and stolen a bunch of stuff, keys, some sacred water, which we'll get up to in a second. And then these group of thieves discovered her and has tasked her to do a specific thing. But we are introduced here to some more party members. We're back with Glenn and his colleague Killian, who we met on the ship also. Here we're being introduced to Killian's Ultra move, which is a gigantic AoE like physical damage, whereas Lena's was magic. This one's physical. Tin ore is really good as well, actually. So we're sort of walking around a bit bizarre, and that's because we're trying to dodge any encounters. So, welcome to our next boss fight, Krachan. Where are we? So this will be... Ooh. So, making use of the fact that the Ultra Move bar resets after... refills after every... at the start of every boss battle. Giving us the chance to be able to make that fight incredibly consistent. We essentially get the same turn order every single time. Here we're being given back to Victor. We're going to this nice party where we're going to meet a bunch of people. We're going to meet Amalia here. Amalia will catch up with later. And Raphael and essentially the Pope, the leader of the church. And we'll catch up with all of them later. If we do this correctly, we get ourselves a life thread, which is an accessory that will increase our critical strike percent, or a critical strike chance by 15%, which is just sort of helpful to have, especially because it doesn't cost us anything to do. Alright, Sienna's sort of infiltrated the building. We're going to go around here, sort ourselves out a wee bit, and then this is the next super skip that we're going to do. Skip an entire courtroom cutscene. And a big menu. My god, I messed that up. There we go. Alright, so essentially what we've done there is we've set Sienna up with some extra crit. This might be a bit sketchy. Let's find out. This should be okay. Because it'll take that out. Yep, cool. That's alright, that's fine. We've given Sienna here a bit of extra crit. She's very crit and agility based anyway, but we're sort of looking for a crit on this next boss coming up. It's going to save us a little bit of time. We redid the party to make sure that we've got Glenn here, who does a considerable chunk of single target physical DPS. Lena, who's got elemental abilities. These are weak to water. And then Sienna and Killian, who both have AoE attacks. Now, in the next battle, if you look down at the bottom right, you will see that our parties, even though we've got 4 active party members, we have the ability to have inactive party members as well. They don't do anything besides the fact that you can actually swap between them. So Lena is set up with Rob at the moment, and Killian is set up with Victor. Oh, this could be bad. Let's find out. Nah, not too bad, actually. Not ideal. There we go. And we can actually swap to those mid-battle. And you'll see that in a second. We're going to swap from Killian to Victor. Victor is sort of our buffer and healer for the run. So here's our water thrust. Switch over to that, do the buff. Armor break. So this is a lot of this game will be set to buffing and debuffing. Here's the overheat bar. This is going to be a little bit slow, but that's okay. This should kill here. Oh, we didn't get the Angel Wing. That's really unfortunate. The downside to doing that is you do get, at the end of the battle, the animation for the original party member to swap in, unless that party member is dead. Here we're going to have our first look at encountering certain fights from certain angles. Because there is a left and a right-hand side of the battle arena. If you enter on the right-hand side and you escape, you exit on the right-hand side. And so we've sort of manipulated that fight to let us enter on the right-hand side. But when we escape, we don't actually have to fight the encounter, and we're already on the other side. Here we're going to be introduced to our sort of, our, like, class mechanic. These are class emblems. Here's the first one, Cleric class. This is going to be our healer. With each character, oh my lord, with each class, come inherent stat buffs as well, which we'll be using throughout the run. But we're going to equip this one to Victor. Like I said, he's going to be our healer for the run. So you also get like a magic and magic defense increase as well as Victor can now revive people and has like a heal entire party move. So we're now for plot wise, we're sort of tasked with bringing Lena and Rob back to Tormund, which will be within the first hour or so. And please. Thank you. Here's sort of the weapon leveling up mechanic. Weapon and armor leveling up mechanic. The red stone there will drop gems, which we will never use on the run, but they give inherent buffs. That one was HP up. That one was HP up that we equipped to Glenn's sword. We will be doing a lot of upgrades through the run, but not so much setting in jewels or gems. What we've done there is we've also introduced the mechanic of deals. So there will be some items that drop from enemies and yellow orbs on the ground that we can collect, that we can sell, and we can unlock deals that give us sort of really cool items. And we will use those to great use. Probably about the hour in mark as well. And what we've just done there as well is we've introduced fast travel to the to the system. And this is Vesta. Vesta's going to teach us how the open world works. And it's going to look a bit weird first. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to kill some turtles. They had it coming anyway. It's alright. Well, this one's shiny. So if you see any of these enemies that have a sparkle around them, it means they are guaranteed to drop their lucky, oh sorry, their rare material drop. So you saw there that we got some bamboo pelts, which is nice. We won't actually ever use those, but it also does give us extra SP as well. So say we were to do an SP grind to level up some moves, we would be looking for the sort of shinier ones. Okay, sweet. So on the right-hand side there, it just told us that we defeated 6 wool turtles. Hell yeah. And we collected 5 collectibles. Excellent. So that's for our reward board, which we'll show in a wee bit. Not only do each reward give you like either just SP or SP and some kind of upgrade material. Where like if you get a certain number of them in a line or in a chain, we get benefits from that. Oh, Lennon doesn't kill in one hit. The more you know. Take notice of the building that we just attacked. We're going to talk to this fellow about that. He's going to give us a sword. This will be Victor's essentially only weapon upgrade for the entire game. If you get a certain number of rewards in a chain, you actually get certain rewards from the reward board, such as grimoire shards, or in our case, both grimoire shards and sacred waters, which we'll use to good effect here, since each class sort of trial requires a sacred water to use, and we'll be getting 3 throughout the run. Now we're just sort of going around here, the open world, going in a specific location to get fast travel points, to get extra equipment and armor. You would have seen that we picked up a hidden treasure. That's one of the things that Vesta taught us that we entirely disregarded. But we got ourselves a double, which is a piece of armor that we'll be using for half the run, which is very funny. Here we're going around to these red treasure chests and getting increased weapons. Red treasure chests have either weapons or armor in them. Typically good quality stuff. So we're going to go around and we're going to grab this stuff. We're also going to grab another hidden item. So far we've grabbed a longbow, a glaive, which is a Rob and Lena weapon, respectively. We're going to grab the claymore here for Killian, and we're going to grab this copus down here. We're going to do a quick menu to equip everyone to the, for their increased equipment. Then we're going to go to our next sort of big fight here, which is the warrior charm. We're going to grab this teleporting point. And we're going to kill some things, but now would be a great time for like donations or incentives or anything like that. Because we're essentially just running around and sort of ticking off some things on the reward board that we'll use in a GIF. Okay, that was a pretty good fight. You'll drop some thin hides as well. Ash and bones, 2 thin hides. So I need to buy 3 thin hides. Here's the reward board. That's us getting the sacred water. We can now use for this fight. So here's Glenn's ultra move. It's a AoE damage that also decreases the amount of damage that they do and increases the amount of damage that they will receive. By a considerable chunk, 25%. And that will become very relevant in a little bit. Nice. So here's us collecting our rewards off the reward board. Okay, so what we've done there is we've used the extra Grimoire shards that we got from the boss battles. Oh. Excuse me? Please? Longbow. And we equipped the Warrior Charm and the Life Throw onto Glenn. Glenn's going to be our main damage dealer for a wee bit. And then when we teleported back to Basil there, that town, we also bought some upgrade material so that we could upgrade our Longbow and also our Claymore, which is extremely handy because now we're going to be doing a decent chunk of damage because not only are they tier 3 weapons, but they're leveled up to their maximum tier 3 weapons. And we're only in the starting area. So now we've been tasked to try to get over the border, but unfortunately the passes that we were given were fake. And we're going to try and find out who gave us the fake passes. It was this fellow here. That is a considerable chunk of damage. This should probably kill. Yep. So now we're going to go back and we get told that this fellow who we're talking to in the inn here is actually the reason why that we can't get across the border and everything is fake. So we're going to go confront them, and we're going to be sort of accosted by his boys, Becca's boys. So we're essentially just going to try and use all of our big AoE damage here. If we get crits here, it's even better. There we go. Oh, didn't get it. Dinger. This should do. Yeah. Sweet. Alright, now we're off to the next area. Which is essentially we're going to try and cross through the Kortara mountain range. But to get there, we need to go through this sort of cave. So that's what we're going to do. Now, the downside of this cave is it's filled with ghosts and zombies. We will need to deal with those accordingly. Which is actually pretty simple to do, which is kind of nice. Oh. So that was just Rob telling us that these mushrooms are able to be targeted, and they will cause paralysis. Just like that. Thank you, auto-target. I appreciate it. We're going to do a quick menu here. That. Set ourselves up with Rob and Victor. So now we've got 2 magic damage dealers, 2 physical damage dealers, and that's important for these fights coming up. We might just take it out, actually. That. Fire thrust. And then a quick. Perfect. Okay, so if you use magic on these, they become magic resistant. If you use physical, they become physical resistant. So we sort of worked out that if you use magic, then you can just take them out with Glenn. If you use physical, then you can set up a extra increased damage by having Glenn use Oil Sword, which will put oil on the oil status on the enemy, which means that fire attacks deal extra damage, and then have Lena use a fire attack. That'll be the basis of us doing a bunch of damage this run, is using elemental weaknesses, applying forced elemental weaknesses. Oh, nice. Cool. And then using a mixture of breaking their armor, which means they take extra physical damage, and then like a charged attack. The good thing about Warrior Charm is it increases your damage. It also means that you have a stronger, like 2 moves that it gives you. One is a AoE physical attack. Did this kill? Didn't. That's fine. We'll use like a strong single target attack and then also an AoE attack, which is extremely helpful. We'll be giving that to Rob in a little bit. Rob's going to be our main damage dealer for the entire run, and that's because he gets a passive water attack. So if anything is dry and he has water attack equipped, he will deal extra damage. That's going to become useful for the entire run, starting in probably 15 minutes. So here we're welcomed with the Dream Eater, with this gorgeous sprite. I'm going to start off the fight with breaking their armor, which means that all these attacks are going to do a little bit extra damage. We're going to buff ourselves with Victor. And then essentially now we're going to be juggling Glenn doing damage and then Glenn extending the armor break here. Now we are going to, nice crit, we're going to swap to Killian. He's going to do a bit more damage. So with Dream Eater, he's going to put us in these locations that we will see in a little bit, and these orbs are going to come into play. You'll see here with the armor break that we've extended it. That's fine. That's fine. That's really quick, actually. Cross slash might actually kill. It won't, because we haven't reached this next location. But this round should kill. That's fine. Nice. That was a really good fight. So yeah, so with the increased damage that Rob and Killian can do, as well as Glenn, these fights become extremely quick. So now, with that gone, we got ourselves a Grimoire Shard. We'll be using that in a second. We're going to travel through this passage. And we're going to end up at Cortara. We will fight our next boss in probably a minute. Maybe a little bit longer. Alright. So that has given us access to our level 2 techniques and passives, now that we've reached a certain number of Grimoire Shards. Here we're going to manipulate entering the battle from a different side again, with these snakes. And then we're going to run up here and be introduced to the next boss, who's Ro. Ro is in power armor, or sky armor, which means he's going to be weak to water. That is not always going to be the case, though. Since most things in this game are actually weak to wind. Ro is actually just a small example as to the things that, the electrical things anyway, that are weak to water. Now, the aim here is to have really good first couple of turns so we don't reach his counter stance threshold like that. If we do reach it early, it's okay. There are some moves that don't trigger the counter, such as Oil Slash, such as Cleanse here and leg aim, so any kind of debuff. That's fine. We're going to deal a bunch of damage here. Fire Thrust, also deal a bunch of damage. Wide Swing, and then Power Shot, and he's going to go back into his counter stance here. Or not, that was the fight. Nice. That was a good chunk of damage. So here, Ro blew up the bridge and separated our party, so we're going to go back into a sort of a 3-party system. We're going to level ourselves up to the next tier with Third Eye and Restrain. Third Eye is a charging move for Lena. That means that the next attack will do considerable chunks of damage. We're also sort of prioritizing getting these yellow orbs. This is the only time we will get a deal in the run. Mantis is good. We're looking for 5 things to get a sort of an upgrade material pack. We're looking for a Mantis, a Rat, a Pebble, a 5-leaf Clover, and an Oily Mango. Now, we've seen Mantis, but that's it so far. Rat's good. So we're essentially all just trying to get through Cortara Mountain Range and meet up at this inn in the fjords. But that sounds easier than what it actually is. Okay. So we're also going to be picking up a chest here with oil bombs in them. They are items that put on elemental weaknesses onto the enemy. Oil lamps. Water bombs is the other one. Which we'll see here because we're going to Oil Slash with Lena's charged thinger. We're going to do a good chunk of damage. Cross Slash should kill. Good fight. Forgotten Ball is very easy, but it's our first look at how much damage charged moves do with elemental weaknesses. Turns out it's a considerable chunk. So here we're going to see our first look at the white door. We'll explain that in a wee bit. And then we get to choose our next party. We're going to choose Sienna, who's by all her lonesome. Rat's okay. Bloody Compass, we're going to get her hidden treasure here, the Wazi Kashi. That's a considerable chunk of damage for her, considering we didn't get her a weapon at the start. We're going to dodge this encounter. Drinking Stalk is not what we're looking for. We do have a lot of chances to get the items, but it looks like we're a little bit. We're using all of them up at the moment. We're not getting Mantis, so we've got 2 that we've already kind of got. We are not running out of opportunities, but we are running out of opportunities. And if we don't get it, it's not the worst. It is just a time loss, which is a bit of a bummer. We need to essentially force a specific encounter. We need to force a sparkly encounter, which could take some time. Here we're going to run past these guys. We're going to give this miner's lunch to Brett. However, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep the lunch because we're hungry. And we're going to run all the way past here. I'm going to go up into this sort of inn. And we're going to see this big bad guy who's got a bunch of metal in his head. We're going to completely disregard that. And we're going to run all the way up here. And we're going to steal a bunch of money from them. Or it's going to get these water bombs. This is going to let us recruit our next playable character, who is a fellow by the name of Bathraz. He's going to be a key to the speedrun. Not only will he do a considerable chunk of damage, but he also has an elemental debuff that we can use. Okay, so what we've done there is we've just learned Draw Iron, we've leveled up Draw Iron, and we've also put Draw Iron in the first spot. That's going to make battles really quick. Now, we're not going to use that yet, but you will see it get used at probably, I don't know, an hour 40-ish. Alright, well, we're really hoping for some good RNG here. Well, it looks like we just might not get it, friends. We should have 5-leaf clover, which is good. We should have everything by now. Like I said, it's not the worst if we don't, but it would be nice. Alright. That's fine. That's what you want to see. Nice. We're going to go down here into our next boss fight. We're going to fight Osric. This fight's really easy. Going to use Kasagiri and Metal Dagger. Good fight. So the deal with Bathraz is he can summon weapons using his abilities, and then we can use Summoned Attack, which is an AoE damage, an AoE magic spell that is amplified by the number of weapons you have, up to a maximum of 3. So we'll also be using that as well. Alright, big menu coming up here. And by that I mean there's more than just equipping. what we've done there is we've essentially set ourselves up for what is essentially the rest of the game, actually. Pretty close to it. We leveled up our big damage dealing move. We've got an AoE armor break, and Victor is now set up to be able to cast Dry on the enemies. And Rob is set with his sort of AoE Dry move, which is really good because now we'll see the amount of damage that we're going to do here. A considerable chunk. So, gonna be our first sort of weird boss fight with different mechanics. We have these levers here, sort of teaching us how to use them. Ooh, Gaze is going first. That's kind of bad, actually. Power Pierce. We're going to attack this switch, because if we don't, we die. Nice. I actually think this next move should kill. Nice. Now we're gonna run... Oops. Into this next fight, where we'll see these lovely friendos. Oh, crit. Start to get lit. This should kill. Nice. So you can see with the upgraded weapons, these sort of next areas are very easy to deal with still. And we'll get even easier after this next boss as well. So you can see with like the armor break and the dry/water attack combo, like single targets tend to get decimated, which is really cool. Especially since it's so active this early in the run. As you can see here, putting the main move first from the attack slot makes these fights go also incredibly quick menu-wise as well. So here we're going to be introduced to Giga Drill Breaker, the next boss that we have to deal with on these rails. So we're going to Dry, Alfred's Will, Power Pierce, Alfred's Will, no, fine. That done. We might actually one-cycle this. Oh, there is an absolute chance we will one-cycle this. We'll find out here. We didn't one-cycle. That's okay. This might actually even kill. To be very funny. There we go. Oh, it was close. It was a close. So now we're also going to level up our friends here. We're going to get Charge, as well as healing him, which won't get used until the end of the run. Very Thrust. That skills. There we go. Now we're set up, like I said, almost for the rest of the run. These text boxes, Mantis, Dinger. Yeah, we might just not get this, honestly, which is a bit of a shame. Like I said, not the worst, but we do need to just farm some encounters. And you'll see here now with Rob's charge attack, how much damage we're going to do. Alright, we'll need to use a wide swing. Definitely need to use a wide swing now. Or not. Yeah, there we go. 715 damage. That was a crit, but still. A 715 crit on an AoE attack? That's a considerable chunk. Bummer. Looks like we might have just gotten unlucky with this stuff. It's a bit of a shame. Will. That's good because that's the quickest one. There we go. So we also chucked the life thread on Rob so that he would have a higher crit chance, and it seems to be paying off, which is nice. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to get this, friends. That's okay. We just need to farm for this next encounter. Light swing. Yeah, it would have been then that we would have got it. But that's okay, friends. Charge. That's fine. Freed's will. This is Toma. And now Toma's gone. Good fight. Okay, so now we're going to lose a little bit of time here. Or in a little bit. Probably in like 15 minutes we're going to lose a bit of time. 15, 20 minutes we're going to lose a bit of time. Which is a shame, but that's okay. It is what it is. Alright, so everyone sort of met back up at the inn. We go outside to investigate something, and Lena's been kidnapped. So now we're going to go to the town and find out what the go is. We're going to chat to some friendly folks. So with each area, you get different, like the orbs will produce different things. So now we can't get the thing that we need, unfortunately, which is fine. Like I said, it just means that we need to farm a specific fight, and that could be very quick. Or it definitely could not be. We're going to go in here. So usually we would chat to that shopkeeper there, and we would sell a bunch of stuff, and we'd get a rare materials pack. But that's okay. We've talked to all the people. They said to go back to the White Rose Inn and chat to Dimebert, who is the sort of the owner of the inn, to figure out what's going on. So, with that white door that we saw before we fought the Forgotten Boar, the way that sort of the life works in this world is when you die, your soul goes into what's called the Maelstrom, and that door is actually access to the Maelstrom, and that'll be explained as to why Glenn has access to that. Dimebert has been practicing and testing taking souls, and before they go to the Maelstrom, putting them in objects. So that like weird howl you heard, that was a soul escaping, and we'll hear it in a second as well, because a bunch of these flowers have souls in them. But it also turns out that you can do more with those souls. You can. Dimebert's been practicing putting them into people. That's why he stole Lena. No. There we go. That was odd. So here we are. Now we're escaping. We're gonna dodge this encounter here. Glenn's not going to be very useful to us at the moment, since we're doing a bunch of AoE stuff, so defense break all round, make them dry, charge with Rob, power string with Rob. Feels like our damage is maybe a hair lacking, and I don't know why. It could have just been a bad roll, honestly. Hmm. No? I am? Okay. And something feels a bit lacking, but that's okay. So far, everything is still dying, which is good. So we're going to go out and we're going to try and fight Dimebert, but it also turns out that Dimebert's been practicing on his daughter, Arlette. She's now big and fiery. We're going to make sure she does less damage to us and takes more damage. Fortunately, the turn order here hasn't been stellar, but that's okay. Heavy thrust. This gives us a chance to actually set up Rob pretty well, actually. If we get a crit here, this fight will be over. No crit. Bummer. So once again, we're just juggling the armor break that has the higher stat on it. We're going to use restrain here. Or just armor break again. Defend. Power pierce should kill. Nice. So restrain or defending, or if the move is in yellow, will actually bring down the overdrive bar. And mean that we do extra damage. So with Arlette sort of beaten, Dimebert gets taken captive. We're going to skip a bunch of cutscenes, and we're going to head to Tormund, which is just above us. We're going to dodge this encounter by hugging this log and hugging this wall here. And then we're going to hug this next one. Now, if we had to buy that rare materials pack, we'd go up there and get some money. We do not need to, as we didn't buy it. So we could save a little bit of time there. Money will sort of no longer be an issue. Which is actually kind of nice. Alright, so we're going to go to the rainy city of Tormund. This is like one of the main areas where you don't want to just hold down skip. This is one of the main areas where you want to respect the platypus. Because you can just get caught in watching a bunch of cutscenes here. Which, honestly, the story's fantastic. But you don't want to be doing that because it's a time loss. So here we're going to pick up our last sacred water. And then we'll use that in probably 40 minutes. Here we're sort of introduced to why we brought Lena back. Turns out Lena is the princess of Tormund. And her dad is sick. So Lena and her brother there are sort of talking about what's going to happen once the father passes away. And so on and so forth. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. Nothing bad ever happens. We're also going to come over here and we're going to pick up our next accessory, which is Charm of the Learner. That's going to double the amount of SP we get on that character, so we can level up moves a bit faster. That's going to become very important because we're going to equip it now, and it's going to help us for the last boss fight of the game. So we're going to go over to the last section. And we're going to see Killian sort of brooding. Not unlike a Batman. I'm going to skip that. Turns out Killian's doing all this so that he can get a bunch of money for his sick sister. We sort of get that sort of plot explained. And that will become relevant in a little bit. Rob's in the castle making a mess. Classic Rob. Gonna go up here, grab a weapon for Lena called the Partisan. And then we're going to get a big sort of lore dump here. We're going to be introduced to a character called Cameron. Cameron's going to sort of explain what all the all the Opus Stone and shenanigans are. Now, the Opus Stone is a weapon of mass destruction, as we've stated. When it explodes, it creates a massive sort of crater. And instead of the souls of everything dying going into the Maelstrom, it goes into the Opus Stone, and that's what powers it up. And that's why it's gotten so powerful, because it's been used so many times. And because it's repeatable, it is a never-ending weapon, essentially. We get that sort of explanation here. Now is also a great time for donations, as we're about to get into just a couple of boss fights before we a couple of regular battles before we get into the next area. Skills, land skill. So while this is going on, honestly, all we're doing is we're setting ourselves up with our AoE party members. His summoned attack with the increased magic from like the magic up passive, and also the magic up that'll come into play in a second. Bathraz will become considerably powerful. Or at least a good finisher, anyway. Victor here isn't of any actual use. Now, there is like a strategy of equipping Glenn here with the Warrior Charm, so you can use Power Swing. It's not terribly necessary. You might save a turn on each fight, but the menuing isn't worth that time. Because then you have to menu it back to Rob. So I'm always looking in the top right for who's going next, so I know which inputs to put in. Sort of straight away. So you see just then that I needed to reset the battle speed, even though it wasn't even a cutscene. Like talking moments mid these things will actually reset it. Stellar. Alright, now let's reset our party. We get everyone back. Gonna go down here, get this teleport crystal. Then we're gonna leave Tormund. We're gonna go the back route through the fuel woods here. Drop down this ledge here. We're gonna dodge a gazer. By using some cool strats. There is a backup for this one if this one doesn't work, but easy every time. You would have seen it started to chase you. If you get stuck on that ledge there, it will grab you, and then you just escape, and then you got to do the gazer dodge, which is you sort of aggro it and then run back to a location behind a log, and then it'll, as it's running back, it can't target you, so you run past it. And now we're out of the field woods, baby. We're into Perpetua. The Perpetua flower fields. With some of the best music in the game. This is where we're going to farm this encounter coming up. There's going to be two owls. It's actually a pretty difficult, well, not difficult fight, but considering that we are still wearing our base armor besides Rob at the moment, he's got the double on. It does make it a bit difficult. We are what you would call glass cannons. So up here, dodge this encounter. It's okay if you get into it. It's the same amount of time if you run past it or if you get into the encounter. Then we're going to try and bomb this fight here. Sparkly? Not sparkly. Sparkly? Not sparkly. Sparkly? Not sparkly. Yes, sparkly. Okay. So it doesn't take too long. It does still take time, and I feel like we got pretty lucky there. So the reason we actually use Glenn's Ultra Move here on this fight is because it is dangerous, for sure. Wait. So here we're going to figure out how to get rid of that barrier that's blocking us. Turns out it's to interact with this and then these sacs. The fluid on the fungus. Teleport all the way back, and we're going to find out the barrier is actually just gone now. Hell yeah. And we can continue on with this next area. Dodge this scorpion encounter. This is just sort of a classic puzzle. Also another good time for donations or any kind of incentives or information. Go down here. I'm going to do a quick shopping menu. Buy ourselves a recurve bow. And we're also going to level that up. That's what we needed the extra stuff for. Upgrade recurve bow. We didn't get the horns. Where are we? The horns are here. Upgrade weapons. There we go. Equip. Party, skills, set skills. Elsewhere. Okay, that'll set us up pretty nicely. We needed those long feathers to get the recurve bow to level 2. That's gonna set us up for the next little while, which is kind of nice. This is the first fight we'll start to see Restrain get used, and to sort of overdrive bar management. Since they have an ability that will actually split the overdrive bar into two different sections, and we need the extra damage. That's a bit of a bummer. Cross slash. Power Pierce. Will this kill? It did. Nice. Poetic March. Light Claymore. Alright, Twisting Mind. This is sort of the move. Yeah. Okay, Armor Break. Charge. Gas Profondo. Okay, we should be fine. Summon Attack. And we can Restrain here. And Power Pierce will kill. There we go. Nice. We essentially just want to sort of manage being in that green bar so that Rob doesn't do half damage. Because every move that the enemy takes will also uptick the overdrive bar as well. Formation, Bathraz. We got the Partisan here. This is going to be very useful. Probably didn't actually need that, but that's alright. This will kill. Nice. So these enemies have inherent water and fire weaknesses. That's why we've got Lena in the party. That's why we grabbed the Partisan. And the boss coming up will also have those as well. Armor break. Fire thrust on the one that has fire. Power pierce. And we should be able to kill with the... Yeah. Oh, we didn't. Dang it. Dang it. That's right. That's A-okay. Victor not known for his strong physical attack. We're going to dodge this encounter coming up. And then we're going to fight one more encounter, which will actually reset the overdrive bar. Which is handy because we use it for this fight. Third eye charge. Charge. Gas Profundo. Wind thrust and power swing. So with Lena's charged attack, she actually takes more damage whenever she's hit. With Rob's charged attack, he doesn't. It's one of the good things about having Rob as our big damage dealer. Now this fight here, I'm notorious for dying on. Third eye. And I'm not... Well, no, not that I'm not sure why, but this fight is just really difficult for me to manage. We are going to third eye again. We're going to break you, power pierce. I think... I have a feeling... Yeah, that's probably the safer bet. Yeah. Sure was. Armor break. Charge. Gas Profundo. Will Lena die here? No. We need to probably get away with a wind thrust as well. Defend. Power pierce should kill. Nice. So the reason I delayed Lena's first attack is because she's going to be the one who changes Jin's element with her water attack. Even though Rob has water attack as a passive, it doesn't actually trigger it. Trigger the change. Excuse me. Equipment. That'll do. I'm buying that for a bit of safety here for this next fight. Because as stated, Lena takes extra damage whenever she's in third eye. We're going to be in third eye here. If she just takes a bunch of hits here, she will just die. Proc. Oh, that's why. I forgot to get the Got to get wind thrust. Oh, sorry, wind jump. But that's okay. We don't actually need it. Because power swing will do all the work here. We missed it! Bummer. Alright. That's alright. You can actually skip a cutscene here. We're probably going to lose a minute overall from this cutscene to the next one. It's a shame. If you skip the cutscene, you need to be holding the skip button as the fight finishes. You can do this entire section here by like saving, 35 seconds. But also, it doesn't play any music. It's very funny. And once we get back to Perpetua, it'll just start playing the calm Perpetua music, which is very funny. Okay. Alright, we will be able to skip this next cutscene, though. It's kind of nice. And he's hoping we just get good fights coming up. Now would be a great time for donations as well. We're going to grab Lena back. He's been kidnapped. Again. Alright, so we're going to get Lena back here. We'll swap out Sienna for Lena. Now we're going to go and fight Frederick, Lena's brother. That's fine. Don't stagger Rob, please. That's fine. Nice. Alright. Big boy fight. Wow. Okay. Wind thrust. Gonna attack here, just try and get a bit of extra damage. And then should be able to kill here. And we are going to lose a little bit of time here because we can't skip this cutscene anymore. Well, this does sort of explain the plot here. So now Killian was actually hired to steal Lena for the money to save his sister. And you can say goodbye to Killian. You will never be able to play as him again. But we do get access to banging soundtrack and sky armor. And how gears work. So gear 2 is what we'll be using to deal a bunch of damage with. It does take extra skill points to use though. Gear 1 is safe, and gear 0 you can't use any abilities, but you gain a bunch of like ability points back. And you'll die. Yeah. So we are going to lose a good chunk of time here. That's fine. It is what it is. Okay. We're about to finish Act 1 in a second. A crit here would be really nice. No crit. Bit of a bummer, but that's alright. It is what it is. Alright, so we're going to play as a small child here for about 2 seconds. Take note of this small child. She will be important later. Alright, so it's been 3 months since that thing happened. The Opus Stone got used. That's why Glenn feels guilty about this stuff. So what he's done is he's decided to take over the local orphanarium. Very kind of him. And then we're welcomed back again to our good pal, Victor, who has a bunch of sky armors for us. A quick menu here. Excuse you. Thank you. We're going to get all of our teammates back. We're going to do some quick menuing. Just because we don't have any armor still, and these fights get a bit sketchy. We won't actually get any armor in for a second. Going in and out of that building actually resets Sienna's dialogue. We don't have them yet. Can we get everyone back? Can we not do it yet? That's odd. So Sienna's going to be a big damage dealer going forward. Oh. Here's when we get everyone back. I was a cutscene ahead of myself. Skills. Burn skills. There we go. That's what I'm missing. Attack up. Human killer. E. Set skills. Beast killer. Human killer. Counter cure. Attack up. I think I might just keep beast killer on for now, actually. Oh, no, I will. I do want that. No, over here. Alright, it's a new part of the run that we do that with. That should make all these fights a little bit safer. At the cost of costing us a little bit of time. So here, essentially what we're doing is we're getting Sienna to do a charged piercer attack. Glenn's going to be doing some AoE jazz. If we didn't have the charged Sienna, Bathraz would actually be doing all of our damage. So, that's fun. Since Bathraz does have the elemental cannon, so he will get the elemental shots. Glenn is sort of the debuffer, or the status person, so poison, inact, blind, silence. Victor is sort of the healer slash like buffer and debuffer, and Sienna will be our big damage dealer, or the main damage dealer. As Bathraz will also be doing a considerable chunk of damage. That's okay. So these are the fights that get a bit sketchy. There's also one fight coming up, and if they all use AoE attacks, which they absolutely can do, this starts to get real sketchy. Especially, as a reminder, we're still on our level 1 armor. So now you'll see Sienna's in the party instead of Victor. That's on purpose. Sienna has a faster agility stat, which means she tends to go first, which means we can set Victor up to go first on most turns, most fights. And that benefits us because if we get Victor before Rob again, which we did, we can use both dry and also the buff to increase Rob's damage. Making these fights not nearly as scary. Defense break. Okay, that's fine. I don't know if this will kill, I doubt it. Sure didn't. Nice, that did. So even if she doesn't go first, Sienna, we still sort of get Victor at the start of the fight, which is really nice. Like that. That can be really sketchy. Sure, why not? But there should be, I think, one more fight, and then we're up to the Condor. The Condor. This will be our first mechanic, or first look at a thing called Act Twice, which is what some bosses have, some enemies have. But they actually just get to act twice on their turn. Instead of just having 2 turns, they get to act twice in the same turn. So. Nice crit. This should actually kill. Nice. So now we have access to the airship now as well, which is cool. And our sort of base of operations for the next little while, the Hermit Isle. There's a mechanic in this game that lets you like get helpers for your island. We're not going to do that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get one, and we'll get them now. So we're gonna do a little bit of housekeeping here first. We're gonna pick up this SP up ram. That's gonna be very important. In about 30 minutes or so. I'm gonna go up here back to where we were. I'm gonna chat to Bao here, who has an a random chance to give us double SP. Now that we can sky armor around the place, it's just quicker to fly up here now and get this next class. We're gonna get the Shaman class. We'll be giving to Barthraz for increased magic damage. We're gonna use our ultra move here. Barthraz isn't gonna do too much at the moment. Defend, Poetic March, and then Rob should just kill here. Nice. We're going to get this. We're going to equip it onto Barthraz. We're also, while we're here, going to do something for this next side quest, which is do up this lever here, which you'll see what we're on about in a second. We have to do two side quests for this. And I think we can just transport. Ruland Fields. We've seen that Basil's been destroyed. Head to Farnsport to figure out why. We get accosted by some friendos. We get introduced to our good friendo here, and then a battle starts. This is one of the other... This one and another one coming up is actually a really sketchy fight, because as stated, we're still on our level 1 armor. The reason we're going to try and take out the... This kill? Yes. The reason we're going to take out the mage first is because the mage does have AoE damage. We can deal with one or two... By that point, we can deal with one or two hits from the knights. Which is fine. Now we're going to get into some sky armor fights. And this, we can actually skip this fight coming up. We don't, because we need the XP to level up some shenanigans. Now the SP route is very, very, very set on Sienna here. It's why we got the SP up ram. So we need all of these fights to be exactly what we need them to be. This fight can go poorly if they break Sienna's arms, which they actually just can do. That means we need to restart the fight, because Sienna, it's just so much quicker to just restart the fight than to deal with Sienna out of action for 7 turns. So, I'm going to avoid all this stuff, go all the way around here. I'm going to be reintroduced to Amalia. Remember Amalia from the beginning of the game? Well, here she is again. She's with good friend and doggo companion Krez. So armor break you. This could be a bit sketchy. We'll get the double armor break, which is okay. But this fight can be real sketchy. As you can see, Bathrise is on 3 health. Alright, excellent. So now the fights, the rest of the game should be not nearly as scary besides for this next boss fight. This next boss fight can be, is a 2-parter. The first part, really easy to deal with. The second part is just an RNG fest. Unfortunately. Alright, so let's get out of here, get back into our sky armor. That's why we're opening up all these levers, to let our sky armor through. I'm gonna jump all the way over to here, avoiding this encounter. Now up here getting this lever, which opens us up for the next section to be able to use our sky armor. And it takes 2 levers to open up each gate. We're only going to open up this gate with one lever. And that's because it's actually easier for us to avoid this next encounter on foot than it is to try to fight it in sky armor. We're getting the sky armor here, we'll go up here, go up through here, fight this next fight. And the one after this is the one we're going to avoid. Now we've got Wind Shot. Bathrise is going to be doing a considerable chunk of damage to anything that is in sky armor. And now you'll see we're going to start using Light Shot for all of our damage. Because we're actually going to get the upgraded Ether Cannon. Oh, sorry, is it Ether Cannon? Yeah, Ether Cannon. For Sienna here, so she's going to be our big damage dealer for this first phase of the boss fight. So we're going to jump out of this stuff here, go along here, and dodge that. Now we're going to get a weapon here for Rob, called the Yanagi Bow. I was going to get this Gemstone Jerkin up here for Rob as well. Equip. Gemstone Jerkin, sky armor settings, party. Sweet. Now, we should be absolutely set for the next wee bit. As you can see, since we've been putting Sienna at the start of the party, or in the point of, or in front of Victor, we're actually going much faster with Victor. All right, this should be one and done. Nice. Okay. So we're out of here. We're done. Dodge this encounter. Back into our sky armor. And ready for the next boss fight. Now, we haven't really seen too much of Matai. But here he is in sky armor form. We're going to charge. We're going to get some level 2 wind shots in here. Hornet Dance. Level 2 light shot. Smash. Wind shot. Now we should trigger Cannon Storm. Sweet. And then Charge, wind shot, give the defense break up. He'll be ready to use his ultimate attack soon. And you're going to have no FP or TP. That light shot should kill. Nice. Alright, this is the fight. Forgotten Matai. So, in between this cutscene here is something we can explain a little bit. We're going to need to sort this fight out. This fight can get really sketchy. Alright, axe twice. Okay, that's fine. Good start. Alright. Okay. On the break. Charge. This is fine. Not ideal. But it's certainly not the worst. Nice. That was a really clean fight. So, Matai has the chance to like make certain actions unable to be used. And if that happens to be buffs or debuffs, or in particular, like physical strikes, we are just, our damage just disappears. Since if he removes debuff, like removes physical attacks, we can't use Rob to do damage, which means we rely on Bathraz to use Dark Spear there. Now, the reason that Matai looked so different is because we actually killed him when he was in the Sky Armor, but he was actually fate was intervened. Pardon me. And fate was intervened by something called the Masked Man. Don't worry, we're just collecting a couple of side quests here. These are the 2 side quests we need to do for the game. These are the earliest points that we can actually do them. Torment. And was given a power at a cost. For Matai, he got the power to be able to beat his enemies. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. But we'll be meeting the Masked Man again very, very shortly, probably in the next 40 minutes. And we'll get a sort of a more of an explanation as to what the Masked Man is. Here we've just collected our 2 side quests that we need to do. From Tormund, we're going to run all the way down into the Fjord Woods. So for one of these, we need to go into 3 areas and unlock some levers to unlock some gates. You would have seen us do that at the start in Perpetua, when we got the Shaman class for Bathraz. Now we're going to get the Fjord Woods one, which is actually a bit sketchy, unless of course you just dodge this one encounter. Because in the Fjord Woods, you can't use your Sky Armor at all. Next is Roland Fields. Past Attack the Yak. All-Star of the 80% no credit warp run. And then this will be the last one. Oh yeah, no, funnily enough, you can do these at any point, which is quite funny considering you can actually do them before you get the side quest, which is what we did in Perpetua. Of which we're going to do that side quest right now. There'll be a boss coming up called a Tad Eye. This has the most health in the game. It's absurd. Now we do have a trick or two to be able to beat it, but it's wild that this boss is so early on. It does have an appetite though. Let's see if we can use that to our advantage. Armor break. This should kill. It didn't. Okay, so we're also going to pick up 2 items here. We're going to pick up the Dragon Mail, and we're going to pick up the Earth Belt. Dragon Mail is just some more armor that we'll use, that we'll equip onto Victor. And the Earth Belt is an accessory that we will be giving to Rob. Earth Belt does exactly what it says. It makes you it's a belt of earth. It gives you earth attack, which means anything that is weak to earth attack will you will deal extra damage. So the reason that we leveled up Draw Iron all the way back when we first got Bathraz is because Draw Iron actually puts the heavy status on, and heavy means that you're weak to earth. So here we are, sort of double stacking our debuff, double stacking our elemental attacks for Rob, which is going to make his damage super big. Dragon Mail. I'm going to chat to Madeline here. Get this berry that we're going to feed to our good friend the Tad-Eye. As you can see, 88k health. Easy every time. Alright, so here we are in some, like, in sort of caverns. We're trying to unlock sort of this hidden city. There's the Earth Belt. Equip Earth Belt. Gemstone Jerkin. Excuse you. Life Thread. What am I doing? Gemstone Jerkin. What are you getting? Metal Jerkin. There you are. Dragon Mail. Gonna run all the way back past Madeline. Here's the cutscene telling us that all the gates are closed. But in actual fact, she can't see past the big pillar. All the gates are open. We're gonna head all the way back, all the way down to the hidden city of Nissa. This is quite a nice cutscene that we are unfortunately going to skip, sort of explaining that there are true kings in this world, sort of the forces that explain how the world works. So there are 7 true kings. There's the sort of Cthulhu in the ocean that controls the tides. There's the dragon that rules the city of Nissa. What am I doing now? Transport. There's sort of the dragon that runs the city of Nissa. There's the Rat King, or the rats in general, the Plague. There's the owl, that's the moon. What am I missing? There's the giant sandworm that moves the earth, and creates all the sort of movement in the earth. What am I missing? There's 2 more, and I forget what they are. Maybe there's only 5, 6. Because there will become an extra one. Maybe that's the 7th. Alright, so here we're sort of being introduced to the ability to go into people's minds. This is what Glenn has the ability to be able to do. Since he can see the Maelstrom, Magnolia, who is a potential possible character, but we don't actually use her in the run, is able to... is able to use that to be able to access people, like sick people's minds. And then inside their minds is this orb puzzle. A bit bizarre if you ask me, but To each their own. So essentially we're piecing together fragments of their minds so we can sort of get to the thing that's hurting them. And that'd be a great time for donations or incentives. Alright, so going up to this little rift thingo. And we've now sort of helped this person out. And there are the 2 side quests done. Sweet, excellent. So now we're going to head all the way back to Hermit Isle. This is the quickest teleport, the quickest airship point to get to New Windshire. We're also going to meet some friendly fellows who we've been respecting for this entire run. There's the platypus, or at least 4 of them anyway. The platypus gang. Alright. So now we're going to go Storm Torment, because the Lena's dad died, Lena's brother took over, and they're waging a war. Now we're going to go give them a piece of our mind. We're also going to buy some items here that are very important to speedrun. Eye drops. Because if Glenn gets blinded, there are 2 possible times that Glenn can get blinded, and they're bad both times. As you can see, Sienna is starting to get a bunch of skills now. This is going to become very relevant for... We're doing all this for one particular fight coming up. Okay. Which is crazy because we're going to have everything leveled up with only doing so many fights. Leg sweep. Alright. Counter stance. That's fine. Take you out. Probably should have taken you out before you counter stanced, but that's okay. Defend. Sweet. Alright, we're going to come up to the next boss fight, which is Gwaine. Now, Gwaine and Rose have a very specific thinger that they try to do. June. Now we're going to defend, and we're going to see what's going to happen. As you can see, June's going to get all the turns besides Sienna. Alright, Gwen's getting ready for his ultimate attack. We'll have to see what that is. Oh, took out 2 of us. Sweet. That's just like a sort of a toy fight. Nothing real. Gwen's actually on our side. Remember that friend of ours, Cameron? Well, Cameron just got stabbed by the pelican. Well, they say never trust a pelican. So here's going to be our first sort of look at the amount of damage that we're going to be able to deal. Charge. And we're not even going to need armor break for the moment. So dry, heavy. And then power swing. Look at all that damage. Alright. This next fight is sort of what we've been preparing Sienna for. And if all's done perfectly... Perfect. So now, Sienna can hit everyone at the same time. Which is very ideal. Because these guys, as you've seen, have been able to counter. Counter stance. Defend, counter stance. Counter stance. Light shot. There we go. That's exactly what we want to see. So now we've got Sturm and Drang. Sturm and Drang. Your Frederick's sort of like bodyguards. You can see the Opus Stone in the background there doing its thing. Because these guys can hurt a little bit. I'm going to use Glenn to break their armor. Charge. Like that. Poetic March. Defend. Power Pierce is going to take out Drang. And then Draw Iron. Armor Break. Keep it going. That's Profondo. Charge. Do your thing. Defend. Defend. Power Pierce. Good fight. Alright. Now we're on to the next area where we're going to get our last party member. So what's happened is we're sort of being thrown into this flashback where we're being taught how to do this orb puzzle, which will come up in probably 30 minutes or so. Sweet. Alright, we're going to go chat to Sir Victor, in which we're going to get sort of explained that... where are we? Barthraz and Victor know each other. And that Glenn and Lena are both people from that flashback we just saw. They're from a race where their souls are able to transfer through bodies, assuming that you prepare it correctly. There's a certain like ritual you need to do. So, that'll be explained in a little bit as well. But just keep in mind that coming up, you get to see Killian and Gwaine sleep together. They sleep in the same bed. It's very adorable. We're going to travel to Kotara Mountain Range. Once again, quicker to go to Shambhala, which is the next location. You're not in Kansas anymore. You're in Shambhala. We're going to change a couple of things. Skills, set skills, yes. You to Beast Killer. Wait. The Shambhala is this sort of floating city, like floating sort of mass of. That's actually okay. Not ideal. It's okay. We should be able to kill him. Yeah. Sweet. Floating massive like sky islands that you like have sort of this hidden civilization in it. Turns out it's very important that no one find out about them, and we'll find out why in a second. Because there is some bad stuff going on. Shocking no one. Alright. Amalia says something very cute coming up. Against this bird friend. It's really an owl. In parentheses. How cute. Missed this by a second. And it's going to be our next boss fight. We're going to fight whatever this thing is. If we're lucky, we'll get a good turn order. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Poetic March is really nice here, actually. We can do this. Nice. That was okay. That saved us a little bit of time. So, we just defeated who will soon become our good friend, Eagle. If I can dodge this encounter. Ooh. This one's a bit tricky. There we go. Who is a bird person. Very adorable bird person. I'm gonna make sure to level up the slingshot here. I'm gonna get that. Oh, did I not get it? There we go. Okay, that's what I'm missing. Are we missing demon leather? There we go. I'm gonna say, no way we're missing demon leather. Unless we are. Oh, we are. No, we're not. I was gonna say. Forgot where it was. Alright, Eagle now joins our party, and now we have our final party. We're not going to level up Amalia at all, actually. She doesn't need it. Set skills. Wind Gust, set skills, Metal Dagger, spell, formation. Sweet. We might lose a little bit of time here, but that's okay. Sort of explaining how threat works in this game. Oh, we should be okay on this one, actually. Dodge. Spell. Maybe we'll be a bit out of luck, unfortunately. Yeah, smidgen. Nice, okay. That just reminds me that I need to fix this up. There we go. Alright, so now we're just trying to open up more of these floating platforms so we can get over to sort of the top left of the map where some bad stuff is going on. And that'd be a great time. You've got a considerable chunk of time for donations. And incentives. I've definitely gotten off this thingo here multiple times when you're absolutely not supposed to. All right. So we're going to unlock these sort of sky isles, floating islands again. And we're also going to turn off these ether cannons. That's what's currently stopping us from going into our sky armor. Dodge the big turtle boys. Get this fast travel point. Perfect. All right. Alright, so we want to get off on this first one because we're going to fight a couple of toucans. A couple of toucan Sams. They know what they did. So now we've got a character who's able to buff everyone's damage, a character who's able to do a massive amount of damage, especially in AoE form, and then 2 debuffs, one for heavy, one for dry. Which is super useful, turns out. Because now also Eagle has an ability, like a passive ability that will cover, any friend who would take lethal damage. That's really nice that we now have sort of a bit of a buffer here. Eagle has a lot of defense, a lot of health, and has the chance to cover us. And it will come in handy if we get into a pickle. Ideally, we don't get into that pickle, but that's okay. Okay. Oh yeah. It'd be nice if we could super skip these, but unfortunately we cannot. We're going to go into this cave, we're going to find ourselves a couple of worm carapaces. Oh yeah. Gonna make our way, now that we've got all these things done, we've got the last sort of floating platform. And then we are going to essentially get this last ether cannon, and then we can fly around and do all of our shenaniganery. So as stated, this is another fantastic place to do donations and incentives. It's a lot of big chillin'. We are, however, over half the run. Go down here and get this last one. Even though it's right there, we're not going to get the crystals. As stated, doesn't actually help us that much. It was a very, 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 very early route. Like where we used to farm as many crystals as we could and hope to get fire attack that we would chuck on our weapon, so that we could oil slash to put oil and then wind and then dry and then wet and heavy on it, and then we would be able to potentially one-hit bosses. But the RNG just wasn't there, unfortunately. Skip this encounter, scuttle all the way over here, drop down. We'd have to fight these monkeys though. Bit of a bummer, but happens to the best of us. We're going to make sure that we collect something from our reward board in a second. Those Colossus hides are very important. We're also going to... This is the last ether cannon. Means we can now do this. Pick up this money. Head all the way up here. For the next boss. Now there is potential to soft lock up here. We'll just make sure that we don't. Simple as that. fine. Draw iron. I'm gonna charge again. Going to wind gust. Sure, whatever. Because it doesn't really matter. Draw iron, power pierce. Oh, it didn't kill. That's bizarre, actually. Because it should have. That's alright, we'll do this instead. There we go. That was bizarre. Okay, so we lost a little bit of time there, just from some menuing mishaps, but that's actually okay. So the reason that we flew all the way out here is it turns out that these people up here in Shambhala, the people who are working for Frederick, Lena's brother, are actually manufacturing monsters and sending them down. We needed to find a way to stop that. And Godfrey tried to get in the way. And once again, we took him out. So here's our orb puzzles. And it's going to introduce us to this like switch mechanic. We used for a couple of puzzles. All right. Now the only one, or there's two of our party members that have a passive machine killer buff. And it's Bathraz and Glenn. And unfortunately, none of those two do a considerable chunk of damage in this section. So we do kind of get limited to relying on Rob here, which is not bad. We do rely on Rob for the good majority of this kind of stuff, but there will be some fights coming up where we won't be able to one-hit stuff. It'll be the first time in a while we haven't been able to one-hit anything, and that's just because they have an inherent physical attack defense. So magic. So they're weak to magic. They're weak to magic, strong against physical, and there's also some that are weak to physical and strong against magic. So now, that's the first switch done. Head over to this side to get the second switch done, and we'll get introduced to these little spiders, mechanical spiders. These are the things that we can't one-hit, unless of course we were lucky enough to crit. Not quite. Defend. Wait, sorry, because we do have Machine Killer on Bathraz, Summoned Attack is the AoE version, is an AoE attack, and it should do the job. Which is kind of nice. Alright. Leave Victor alone, please. What's he ever done to you? Nice. Now, I don't know if I've got... I do. Sweet. And then, do you have... Perfect. Oh, yeah. Alright, so... That... Nice! We're going to our Sky Armor here. We're going to collect our next level up for our Sky Armor stuff. The main reason why the last area in our Sky Armor was so sort of sketchy is because we were still running on the base level. The base level does hide from us. Where's this last one there? The base level Sky Armor gear. So now we're going to get the level 3 stuff. Which we'll equip up here in a second. We're also going to pick up this next armor. Sky Armor settings. Leyline coat, which will be really helpful in a little bit. So these gorillas have a inherent dark weakness. So we're going to sort of use that to our advantage. Defend. And sort of one-hit them. These next ones we won't be able to one-hit, unfortunately, but that's okay. Oh, we will be able to, but it will take a little bit of finessing to do. By that, I mean hitting them with AoE attacks first. We're looking for some monster hides from these guys, unfortunately. Nice. Colossus hide. I'll take one, at least. Energy flow. Nice. Dark shot. We'll take these guys out. There's some monster fangs. Hell yeah. Now everyone should be on pretty good health and damage now. Leg sweep. Defense break the fallen dragon. Defend. Should take him out. Nice. All right. Some of these puzzles do look the same, so I keep some notes next to me just to make sure that I don't mess them up. Next boss, Shaved Head. Shaved Head is a mechanic where they will use like a damage nullifying ability. We're going to mess with its AI and make it think that it doesn't need to do that. So enact salvo is exactly what it says on the tin. It gives enact to the enemy. Sure. So enact. Gonna try and use Thingo again. Just a casual 20k damage there. Enact. Defense break. There we go. Good fight. Hell yeah, we take those. Alright. Next area is a big kind of puzzle. But that's fine. We have everything else we need sorted. Oh. Whoa. Alright. So you're really using these sort of like colored switches in more of a puzzle manner. Leave Victor alone, my lord. Okay. Back down here, and then what are we doing? Yellow, blue, red. Yellow, blue, red, and then blue, yellow, blue. And then blue, yellow, blue. We just grabbed a weapon for Rob there. Oh, definitely have something in my eye. Nice. So we're going to upgrade this bow, and this will be the last weapon we give to Rob. Now we're going to do a couple of really quick side quests for these golems. We're going to find some birds for a lonely golem, and then we're going to find a partner for an even lonelier golem. that. Nice. So here we're going to find Golem Friend. And then the last bird. Get the second last switch. This golem's got its bird friends. It's happy to leave us pie. And then get the last switch. One more orb puzzle. And then we're out of here. Not hurt. Nice. We'll go to our next boss in a second. After we get all of this sweet, sweet loot. Plot armor. Sky armor. What I want. There we go. Okay. So we're going to silence. We're going to attack mode. Berserk mode. Fence break. Whoops, that's actually kind of okay. Water shot. Charge. Offense break. Water shot. Light shot. Gonna use pure terror again. Fence break. Water shot. Charge. That's fine. Offense break. Nice. Oh. Oh yeah. Good fight. As long as we can get like a turn skipped with them and Sienna and Bathraz don't have to do too much, we'll take it. Alright. So sort of what happened there is that dark sky armor sort of wanted to stop us from I guess enacting our own plan, right? They work for the church. They're sort of second in command to the Pope, and as we'll see in a little bit, they sort of want Lena for themselves because they actually worship the race that is Lena, who are able to change their change their body when they die. They worship them. So we're gonna go figure out how to sort of get up to the... Oh. Oh. That's new. Typically there's a whole scene there. And I won't say no. But we just skipped probably like a good minute. Nice. Okay. All right. We'll take it. So we're going to go to the grave here. Pick up this leyline coat. And this is going to give us access to sort of the flying castle in the sky. So we were just on the Sky Isles. Now we're going to go to the Flying Cathedral. So here with Amalia. Amalia and Barthraz get separated. Those two specifically, because as we'll see in just a moment, these are the two that that have been touched by the masked man. Amalia wanted the gift of, like, Amalia wanted to protect her family, since she's from a long lineage of, royalty. We'll just do this fight real quick. It's the only time you'll ever see Amalia in a fight. Bummer. Nice. So, Amalia's mother, as we'll soon see in a second, gets killed, so that there's sort of an uprising, and then Amalia notices, and then Amalia also gets killed here, and then because she's not one to die at this period of time, the masked man will come in and give her an option to be able to, like, in exchange for something, get power in return. So she took up the deal, but we don't know what she's given up yet. She asked for the power to be able to hurt those who have hurt her. Instead, she got given the ability to be able to heal people. So next up is Barthraz. Now, Barthraz also met the masked man in rather unfortunate circumstances, as they are wont to be. And we'll explain this in a second. So this one gets split up into a bit more of cutscenes. Barthraz used to be a blacksmith, had a family and everything, has a son there. And the town that they were at actually got attacked. Light Claymore. Okay, so Barthraz's town got attacked, and these, like, bandits essentially torched the entire place, killed everyone. Barthraz gravely wounded, and then Barthraz told his son to leave. They ended up catching it, and unfortunately doing the deed. Now, Barthraz's son actually gets met by the masked man here. And Barthraz's son has the option to get great power at a great cost. And so his soul goes into the suit of armor there. So he gives up his entire body for the ability to take control of the machinery, or like metal, essentially. It's enough to, like, ward them off, but not enough to actually beat them. So they demolish the suit of armor that is Barthraz's son, and then they kill Barthraz. Now, Barthraz is then met by the masked man, who has the option to have power at a great cost. So Barthraz gets the ability to control metal at the cost of his limbs. So that's why Barthraz's limbs are made of metal, and he has grafted his son onto his body. Now, he doesn't have any way of contacting his son. It's just sort of like a soul presence. But that is sort of the story as to why Amalia and Barthraz have been separated here. They needed to prove themselves. Boss fight here. Charge. That's fine. Wind gust. Probably should have armor broken again. We've got another chance. Defend, armor break. This should kill. Nice. Didn't kill. Bummer. That's odd. There we go. Sweet. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to go into the grave. When we enter the grave, we are accosted by a bunch of religious members, and they take us to where we want to go. Floating cathedral in the sky. Now we're going to go meet up with Lena and Amalia. Find out what the go is, why they aren't sort of like killing us, what the whole religion is sort of about. So yeah. Now sort of a stellar time for donations and incentives as well. Alright, turns out that Lena's been captured once again. And they want to use her, like, soul to protect and, like, sort of give reincarnation to the Pope, essentially. Now we're going to go through their forces and try to figure out what's going on. Skills, set skills. Come in, kill. I knew there was another menu I had to do. Change my party. Bathroom. There we go. The new things looked a little bit weird. There's a little bit less blue and green on the party than what I expected. Oh, I thought something was odd. Okay. There we go. Look at that red chest, everyone. We'll be back to grab it. Okay. It is this way. No? Oh, that's the next room. Whoops. What up? This is the one I want. Lena's escaping with the Pope, and we killed the Pope. Now we have Lena back. Oh, it didn't kill them. That's odd. I'll take it, but it's odd. Oh, should I have Beast Killer on? That's why. I did take that off. Right, it'll save a menu in a second anyway. It's no actual issue. Defend. That's fine. Once again, Bathraz doing the damage. Grab this key card. All the way back, all the way over here. To this. And as stated, I said we'd come back for this. This is the stylish accessory. This makes whoever's wearing its ultra move ultra powerful. So we're also going to level up our weapons here. Not enough monster fangs. That's actually okay. Bit of a bummer. Great. Now this shouldn't be any issue. So we were sort of looking for monster fangs from those purple dragons earlier. And we just didn't get any. Which is fine, we can live without them. Sweet. Alright. Now we've got one more fight before the next boss. We're going to fight Raphael. Now Raphael is one of the people we met at the start when we were playing as Victor at the party. We'll find out that Raphael and Sienna have a bit of a history. Let's do this next fight. Nice. All right. Gonna be a good fight. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Palpia should take out Raphael. Raw Iron. That's Profondo. I wanna Armor Break. Charge. That's fine. Nice. Good fight. Alright, so now that all this is going on, we find out that Glenn is also one of the same race as Lena, and has had his soul put into a bunch of, it has been transferred a bunch of times. If you happen to find out this thing, you tend to go into a coma and perish. Luckily, we've got Madeline, who's able to, as we used her earlier. There we go. As we used her earlier, is able to help us get into people's minds. So we're now inside Glenn's mind. Inside Glenn's mind is very bizarre, though. It's this weird puzzle. While we're doing this puzzle, it's also probably a pretty good time for donations. Because that's the only fight that we'll actually do in the in this area. In this one particular area, anyway. Okay, remove that. Do that. All right. The beach doesn't get much use here, but it's a beach. No one really minds too much. Go away here, get ship back. All right. Go down here to avoid this encounter. Oh. I want the beach. And then dungeon, ship, dungeon. Then we're done ski finito with this area. Oh, that's on me. You can skip this encounter by hugging the wall there. Alright, so we're sort of learning about Glenn's previous lives. Here we're gonna face the embodiment of our real monsters. Alright. And the lips from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Jesus. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate, actually. That's fine. It's not ideal. Yeah, 4K isn't ideal, but it's also not the worst. We're going to do this as well. So that's 6K, which means we do this, and we do this. This should kill. Nice. That's an unfortunate starter. Typically no one goes before Sienna. Especially it's then a 1 in 4 chance that they'll even hit Sienna. So. But that's alright. So you would have seen their Bathraz's ultra move is Giant Cannon. That does a considerable chunk of damage over the course of ticks. So we're going to use that to good use, essentially from now on through to the end of the run. All right, there we go. That's a bit better. So charge. I'm gonna use Berserker here. Wind Gust. That's fine. That's fine. Defend. Power Pierce. That's okay. Means this next one should Best Profundo. Wait. Not the best fight, but that's okay. Sweet. Alright, now we fight. We've got a bit of Sky Armor shenanigans. We've got Glenn back, which is nice. But now they've constructed this giant tower we need to head to the top of. There's also a Kraken that we can fight, which is fun and exciting. We'll worry about that in another run. Grab that. Grab that. Oh. There we go. Leg sweep. G-flow. And shot. Defense break. Leg sweep. Dodge. And shot. Oh, well, that was actually a little bit easier than I was expecting. Sure. Sweet. We're going to pick up a couple of things here. We're going to change a bit of Victor's, the way he's going to work. He's no longer going to be so, I guess, helpful to them. He's going to be more helpful to us. By that I mean we're going to change his healing stuff to a bit more of an aggressive, of an aggressive take. That was just poor time, very poorly timed, unfortunately. If you're in the middle of an action while a text box leaves, it doesn't mean you have to restart the battle. So that was just, we were probably a couple of frames off, unfortunately. Bit of a bummer. Okay. Charge. I am actually going to do one quick heal. This will make us survive so that Sienna can just do this kill here. Dance. Nice. Sky armor setting. There we go. Alright. Sky armor settings. Skill RAM. SP up RAM. There we go. That's going to be super beneficial for us because we need to learn an ability called Drone Swarm, which is an AoE multi-hit spell, which will come in very handy for this next boss fight. And luckily enough, this will give us enough SP to do it. Oh my gosh, leave her alone. Don't kill her, please. Oh. I'm gonna heal here. That was so bizarre. Defend. That's so bizarre. You very rarely see her get hit this many times. So. But it was worth it to do that. Now we're going to do a quick save and load here. What that does is that reloads the game, means that we can skip this next cutscene without the game breaking. Ooh. Sure, we'll take you out. Attack mode. That's fine, because Hornet Dance is going to... That's fine. Water Shot should take you out. Assuming we can keep this going. Oh, that's really bad. Dinger. Alright, that was actually an okay fight. I knew we were close with the amount of damage that we were dealing, but having Sienna die there wasn't ideal. Alright, now we get to fight a champion of Vayne. Now, Vayne is probably the first time you've ever heard the term Vayne. Vayne are like the weird, behind everything villain. They they're sort of the controllers of the Maelstrom. And they sort of like remake the world every so many years. That's fine. Attack mode. On attack. Hornet Dance, why not? Charge, enact. Perfect. Of course, this is weak to wind. Now, essentially, I just want to silence it so it doesn't use heal. Sweet. Wind shot. Good fight. Ooh. Alright, so now we're going to use the Opus Stone to take out the big chungus. That's going to release a bunch of energy into the Maelstrom. Except it's not going to go into the Maelstrom. It's all going to be released into the air. And it's all going to come crashing down into someone in particular. I wonder whomst it will be. So here's sort of like the first envision of the end of the world, right? The Vayne every so often will remake the world just to see what happens. All this energy is going into Glenn, which is wild. Now we also get introduced to an old friend. This person in a bunch of armor. Who could it be? It's no one. It's Killian. Killian's come back to help us. Or at least to guide us in the right direction anyway. So... Alright. Now we're gonna head to the city in Nissa. Madeline's finally got the gate open. We're gonna do ourselves a little bit of menuing. Alright, we missed one thing there, but that's okay. Right after this next boss fight, we'll just level up and sort out Bathraz. But that should be the last menu we need to do in the game. Pick up this money here. Pick up this Ether Cannon. So that Sienna does a bunch more damage. To the point where we should be able to just one-hit everything now. Nice. Are we going to head to the park? There is an option here to get another really strong weapon called the Rainbow for Rob. We omit to do that because it's behind a pretty difficult fight, and the strength it gives isn't worth it in comparison to the leveled up Belit's bow that we have currently. Like that fight there. So we just opt to use the Belit's bow. Okay. Easy. All right. And we're on. Alright, we could go up there and get some armor for Glenn, but we're not going to do that. We're going to get out of our sky armor, pick this up. Because as the text is going, we can't actually get in or out of the sky armor. We're also not going to get into it for this. Now we can. We're going to pick up this plot armor here for the two most important characters. Down here. Okay. Oh, that's bad. That's actually kind of bad. Oh, this should be fine. Like, it'll just be a bit sketchy. Lucky Leonard didn't get hit there. I forgot to sort out my pattern, or my party. Alright, we should be fine here. Yeah, that's fine. Easy. Okay. So, skills. Learn skills. Barthraz, the most important skill in the game. Heaven or Hell. Set skills. Level up, Heaven or Hell. Level up, Magic up. Set skills, blah, blah, blah. Done. Body. Formation. Eagle. Glenn. Barthraz, Amalia, Sienna, Victor, Roblen. Wait. I love how that one little change is what affected everything. Alright, so now we're going to go find the Wunderganger. You would remember those thieves from a little while ago in the earlier part of the game. Now they've come to rob Nissa. We're not going to let them do that. We took their key. And pick up this last little bit of armor for Sienna. That should be, besides the final optimize of armor and weapons, should be it, friends. That should be the last menuing of the game. Besides, yeah, perfect. We're all good. I had to make sure I actually had it on there. That's fine. That's Profondo. That's bad. Ooh, that's gonna be really bad. Yeah, this is bad. Cool. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. A bit unfortunate, but I did forget to equip one thing onto Bathraz. That's on me. Equip Bathraz with stylish accessory. There we go. Now we should be sorted. Great song. Here we go. There we go. Easy fight. Oh. I should be leveling Rob's attack up as well. That's right. We should be chill. Set skills for you. There we go. Now we're sort of going around trying to find this last key. It's hidden, or it's protected by this sort of memory blob that is sort of filled in by other people's memories. So we're going to chat to them and figure out what it is we're actually fighting. Oof, that's kind of a bit annoying. Efreet Song, Wind Gust. That's okay. Dark Spear should kill. Or not. Odd. There we go. Oh. Alright, now we're going to pick up this key, because it's going to give us access to the final area of the game. This is the last sort of like boss rush scenario. I'm going to fight one more boss who's going to try and stop us. Then we have the final boss rush. All right. So we're going to fight Wyatt here. Blind. Zerk mode. Hack mode. Defense break. Charge. Wind shot, because of course it's weak to wind. Command attack. Enact salvo. Light shot. Enact. Hornet dance. Smash. Charge. You're gonna act twice. You're gonna act thrice. No, support orb. And then defend. Fence break. Light shot should kill. Nice. All right, final boss rush time. And do a quick little bit of menuing. Make sure everyone's equipped. Because even though they're not leveled up, we can give them really good armor, which will benefit us greatly. Sell. Buy. Oh. Let's go. So blind salvo, berserk mode, attack mode, command attack, enact salvo, charge, fire shot, fence break, attack, light shot, enact should go off, defensive tactics, alright, which means earth shot for you, which which means attack for you. Defense break. Charge, 1 turn left. So if we blind you, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna... I don't think we'll need it. That's fine. Nice. Good fight. Alright, here we go. Oh. Alright, fun and exciting times ahead, friends. So we're fighting Killian here. Killian became a true king, essentially, absorbed all the power of the Vein. We tried to fight him, we won. He then released Alfred. This is Alfred's sort of final form. It's a multi-part boss, similar to the Final Fantasy VI fight. Okay, we can actually do this. It's kind of nice, because Victor's going before Rob here. Das Profundo. Outswing. Wind Gust. Draw Iron. Heal. That's good, is what I want to see. Charge. Efreet Song. Wind Gust. Draw Iron. Good, we're above a threshold still. Sweet. Poetic March. Don't use Death Stagger, please. Life Thread's fine. Charge. Draw Iron. Efreet Song. Wind Gust. Outswing. Nice. Awesome. Okay. Here we go. Healing him. Fire Coat. Berserker. Armor Break. Heal all. Water Coat. Oil Slash. Heaven or Hell. Wind Gust. Wind Coat. Water Bomb. This should kill. I don't know if that's a kill. Oh, it is. Hell yeah. That's how you one-hit the boss. So, Barthraz's ult works in ticks, as I explained very earlier. But if you stack up a bunch of buffs, debuffs, that kind of jazz, Lena's Fire Coat, Wind Coat, Water Coat acts as your elemental attacks. You're then also stacking wet, dry, oil, plus an armor break as well. So everything stacks. And then typically you would notice that we would have to reuse elemental weaknesses, attacks, each time, like it's procced. However, Barthraz's ult is 10 individual attacks, but it doesn't actually, pardon me, use the it doesn't use it up on the first go. It acts for all 10, and so we're able to skip all of the final attacks and all the final cutscenes by killing them in the first phase. It's also a new world record, which is really cool. That's really fun. I think this turned out to be a pretty good run. We hit the 325 I wanted. We did, however, lose a little bit of time, but that's fine. This was a good run. Thanks for checking it out. I appreciate it. This is a really fun run. Glitchless any percent is really good as a run, and the Chandokers community slaps.